Hello, beautiful friends, and welcome. My name is Alyssa, and this is my channel of New Direction. And this is part 3 of our Embracing Your Awakening series. So if you're like, part 3? What? I haven't seen the first 2. There's the link for the first 2 videos at the end of this video. So if you haven't seen them, I do recommend that you maybe go back and you watch part 1 and part 2. This is really talking, in this reading, we're really discussing our chakras. Our first reading was talking about kind of the overall shadow energy and energy of the light that we have been feeling as a collective. Part 2 was discussing the shadow energies and kind of the things we could not, it's the same reading that we're going to do here, actually, the same spread that we're going to do here. But the part 2 was for the root chakra, the sacral chakra, and the solar plexus chakra. And then this reading will be the heart chakra, the throat chakra, the third eye, and our crown chakra. Okay, so we're going to get right into it because there is a lot to discuss. I have already pulled our oracle cards just to save time because it is such an in-depth reading. A couple housekeeping things, I guess, before we get started. I am outside. I do apologize if we get interrupted. I have a very busy house, so sometimes interruptions are just part of my everyday space. If you can see in the field behind us here, my ponies are happily eating their breakfast. So yeah, all right, let's get into this. So the first card, the first chakra that we're going to be looking at today is our heart chakra. And the question number 1 was the shadow energy that is rooted within this chakra. And there was two energies pulled for this question here. And well, look at this. A woman holding her heart and heartbroken. The shadow energy of the heart chakra. Doesn't that seem fitting, right? You don't have to be a woman for this. You certainly don't have to be, a female by choice or by nature, to be the one holding your heart here. But I do find that this is more talking about our feminine kind of side, in general, okay? It's talking about our divine feminine side. This is the woman holding the heart here, And our divine feminine side is talking, like our feminine side is more of our intuitive side, okay? Our masculine side is our action sides to our lives, and our feminine side is our spiritual kind of intuitive, inner strength, inner guidance side, okay? And look at this energy. It's almost as though our feminine energy within our heart has been broken, I really feel strongly that is what the shadow energy is. It's almost like our intuition has been either tampered or, whatever that was. It could even be, as we're talking about embracing our awakening, right? Embracing our authenticity. Okay, is what we're doing here. That is what the awakening is, okay? And if we have not been able to follow our paths authentically, if we haven't been able to follow our paths authentically, we therefore haven't been following our intuition, We therefore haven't been following our divine feminine sides, okay? Our action sides have been leading us, but they haven't really been connecting to the divine feminine side. And I feel that is the energy here that is heartbroken. That is the trust within us right now that is heartbroken. It's our acknowledgement and our connection to our faith and our trust within our intuition. Okay. All right. Let's pull some. Move that over here. Okay, we're just going to pull some tarot, and we're just going to pull the tarot for the energy of the shadow, just because there is so many cards out that you can't pull tarot for everything. And then we'll kind of work through the rest of the oracle cards, the rest of the questions after we do this. Okay, so let us see the shadow here. Spirit, can you clarify the shadow energy? Look at that. The 5 of Wands, the Knight of Swords, and the 9 of Pentacles. Okay, this when we're acknowledging that this is our shadow energy, that this is the shadow energy of our heart chakra as a collective, right? Like, if we dig down into it, deeply for us, for each one individually, you would really be able to, dissect what really, the finer points, right? But what this shadow energy here is talking about, what this heartbreak in following your own intuition here, look at this, the Five of Wands, which is so much to me the leveling up here. Okay, it's the climb, it's the moving forward. Okay, it's the competitiveness to go forward. Okay, the drive to go forward here. But this is the leveling up, the Five of Wands here, the leveling up. And then the Knight of Wands was behind it. And the Knight of Wands is somebody who is literally on fire for who they are. I love this card because to me, she's such a, she's just a fire beating, badass bitch. I have said that a couple times over because that's who this girl is to me. She is so on fire with her authenticity. She's got that beautiful horse just dancing in the back, and she is just inspired to show up and be herself. Okay, that flame has been lit inside her soul, and she knows her purpose, she knows what she wants, and she shows up to that honestly. Okay. And then the Nine of Pentacles was behind that. And the Nine of Pentacles is about the self-fulfillment. Okay, it's about the self-abundance, feeling whole and full within your own place. Okay, your own self, not having that feeling of needing others. Okay, being full within your own energy, and that's very much needed here, because if we cannot feel solid within our own hearts, if we cannot show up to love our intuitive side and our feminine side and our authentic side, we have a hard time embracing these two cards here, right? We do. We have a hard time embracing ourselves and our fulfillment. We have a hard time showing up to love ourselves like this. See? But it's needed, and that acknowledgement is very much needed here. So I love this because what we are unable to change, what we are unable to change, what we must acknowledge that we are unable to change here was the turkey spirit. And the turkey spirit says, give with gratitude and grace. And I loved this message because the message of the turkey spirit is, in order to receive, in order to live a life of of fullness, of happiness, of abundance and love, you must be willing to give with grace and gratitude. And that includes in love. When we want love in our life and we want to co-create and manifest the things in our life, with love, we must give love first. Okay? We must be grateful in giving that love. We must be plentiful in giving that love. And when it all comes back to our own personal awakening, what do you think that means? You must be grateful, and you must, be gracious with the giving of self-love. Okay, see how that worked out there? So how can you take back this power? Okay, we've got moon cards here for how we can take back our power here. And the balsamic moon was the first one, and it's not a salad or a salad dressing, okay? It is saying there is a need here for healing. Okay? There is. This kind of brokenheartedness within yourself, that needs to be healed. There is a need here for healing. Within this awakening, within this embracing of ourselves, there is a need here to forgive ourselves, to heal our wounds, We must start with our own wounds first. The new moon in Taurus was after that. Prosperity lies ahead. And the new moon in Taurus, with prosperity lies ahead, Tauruses are often about they are go-getters. They are makers of financial gain. Okay, they are people who like to. Well, the Taurus is just somebody who is very prosperous in the things they do. Right, and the new moon here, I love it because the new moon in Scorpio was the third card here. Okay, and that says work through your fears, and I loved how the three of these work together. Okay, right. because this is a time for healing. There is healing needed here, because through this healing, there is a cycle of new prosperity. And with that cycle of new prosperity, there comes this cycle of needing to work through the fears, okay? And the new moons, like that's 2 new moon cards. That's 2 new cycles beginning here, okay? And we did just have a new moon, So we are, we're right on time for working through these cycles right now. We really are. Okay. How can I use these challenges in my life to my advantage? Be fearless and stand strong, the warrior. And lady, enjoy growth and reap rewards. I love that so much. Okay, and I did want to read these ones because they are pretty awesome. Not that they're not all awesome, just these ones. Anyway, don't back down. Make your options heard. Don't settle for the second best. If you are experiencing fear at this time, know that this means whatever is going on is important to you. Whenever you feel fear, you are on the verge of something big, perhaps a massive breakthrough that is going to really help you move forward. If you have a situation on hands where you have to face someone or something that has been unsettling you, know that you are being guided to call upon your inner warrior. Don't falter and don't be frightened, because you have the energy to protect yourself now and at all times. Be fearless and stand strong, and especially when it's talking about, our hearts and embracing our own authenticity, You must be fearless and you must stand strong, because there are going to be people that say things. Enjoy growth and reap rewards. Reap what you have sown and enjoy the fruits of your labor. Grow and expand in all areas of your life. Fertility, growth, and abundance are all intimate when the lady arrives in your life. All the seeds you have planted are coming to life. There are plenty more rewards to come. In a material sense, this card can represent financial security and comfort. It shows that there will be more than enough to go around. If you are making business deals or settling intentions to create financial growth, this card indicates a considerable amount of monetary success. The lady can also usher in other forms of abundance, opportunities, marriage proposals, and even the birth of a child. She will help you respect nature and connect with its forces in order to have a genuinely supported journey through life. Well, okay, so that is discussing our heart chakra. So let's move on to our throat chakra. And I loved this. The shadow energy of the throat chakra was the thinking woman. And when we're talking about our throat chakra is discussing the way that we communicate. The way that we communicate to ourselves, the way that we communicate to others, the way that we communicate to the divine, to the universe, just the way we communicate in general. And to ourselves is very important here. And this thinking woman, I loved this, because the thinking woman is that ascension, she's moving herself along this journey of growth here. Okay? She's got a book in her hand and a scroll in the other hand, a whole stack of books before her. There's butterflies, so there's transformation here. And there's this stairway, to go up. There's this stairway for her to climb to, grow her knowledge here. As a shadow energy in your throat chakra, I almost feel as though it's this inability to communicate the knowledge and the wisdom that you know. The things that you have come to learn over your journey, okay? And it may be necessarily, maybe not all parts of it need to be talked about, but there are certainly parts of our journeys, that are important that we communicate to ourselves. Our growth is something that is important to communicate to ourselves. We must be open to ourselves and allow ourselves, the opportunity to hear ourselves out and be like, okay, this is what I think of this. And this is, it's important to journal and communicate to yourself in an open kind of changed moving forward, a communication that you would say to somebody that you were inspiring. Look at that, the Hierophant clarified that. And the Hierophant's talking about the teacher. Okay, the Hierophant is talking about, and the Wheel. One more, Spirit. And the Ten of Wands. No shit. Look at this. This thinking woman. It's almost this communication to the divine almost. And it's the communication here of self and the need of divine. Okay. And it's this change within it here. Okay. Look at this. The Hierophant. Again, that stairway. The stairway to the higher. The stairway to that more higher chain or higher way of thinking. Okay. The Wheel was behind that. You see, because the Wheel is talking about change in life. It's talking about cycles changing. And the most consistent thing in life is what? Change, right? There's this change here. She is changing her way of thinking about this divine. And it's almost that as a shadow energy, there is some sort of fear of embracing that. There's some sort of fear of communicating this change within her life. And the Ten of Wands. You see, this kind of whole thinking process, this is not something she came by lightly. This process of coming to the higher, of acknowledging that she needed change, of acknowledging that there are cycles that are the tens are about completion. The Ten of Wands is like you are right there. You know, you are 100 meters from the end. Okay? Finishing out the cycles, acknowledging the cycles for what they are and acknowledging, okay, this is how I complete this. This is how I move forward. You see, and I feel like there's this change within your acknowledgement here. You know, it's this change within the acknowledgement that, okay, I now know more than what I knew in the past. So therefore, things are changing. Therefore, I can acknowledge the cycles that have been, and therefore I can change them going forward. Okay? Because the cycles have come to a completion. That's what the 10 is about, right? This ascension to the higher, this acknowledgement of the need to the divine, you know? Spiritually, okay? Without religious boundaries here, spiritually. That acknowledgement, that movement forward, okay? It is tough to communicate this, yes, absolutely, okay? But you must communicate it to yourself in order to move forward from repeating patterns. You must say, look, self, this is where we stand on this now. Now we finish this cycle, we address this, we bring this over, surrender it to the divine, and we move forward. Isn't that beautiful? Wow. What you are unable to change about, what we're unable to change, or what we must acknowledge that we are unable to change right now, was the turtle spirit, which is slow and steady wins this race. Okay? And the turtle spirit it's saying that there is a need sometimes just to allow spirit to take the time, you know, to trust that things will unfold in the manner that they are meant to unfold. Okay, not trying to rush or force things by our will. Okay? Sometimes all we need to do is show up and put one foot in front of the other. And sometimes, you know, even our movement by just putting one foot in front of the other seems so slow. It seems that we're not even moving. But within that place of patience, you know, within that place of understanding that it takes patience for the rest of life to align to where it needs to be, we therefore are surrendering ourselves to the divine. We're surrendering our, you know, this is what we want to do and this is what we want to accomplish, but we plan on accomplishing it within the divine timing. Okay? We understand and we acknowledge, you know, that sometimes just showing up and putting one foot in front of the other is what's going to win the race. Forcing it with our will is not. Okay? Forcing it with our will not. How we take back our power here was the waxing crescent moon. Have faith in your dreams. And I love this card. It's probably my favorite card in this whole deck. I just love how beautiful it is. It just seems so freeing, right? Like, can you not just picture yourself in that field of wildflowers looking up at that beautiful waxing crescent moon? I can. How you take back your power here is you communicate to yourself that your dreams are something that can come true. You communicate them to the divine. You have faith in them. You feed them hopeful, positive energy. This is how you take back your power in your communication, is when you acknowledge that your dreams, they have life to them if you feed it. Okay? You must have faith and flexibility within your, within that wanting to receive dreams. You must open yourself up to allow them to play out in the way that they are supposed to. But you still must have that faith in your dreams. If you feed yourself negative bullshit and you feed yourself, this is never going to turn out, I'm not good enough for this, whatever that negative talking pattern is in your life, if that is something that you continue to communicate to yourself, you will continue to get it back. What you feed your mind is what you feed the universe, my friends. Okay? I can't say that enough. You have to feed your mind with faith. You have to feed your mind with love. Okay? How can you use these challenges in your life to your advantage? The White Witch, be the light. And the Stargazer, set your sights higher. Not even set your sights high, set your sights higher. Have faith in your dreams and then set your sights higher. Wow. I love the White Witch card. It's probably also one of my favorites. I say that a lot, I think. The White Witch, be the light. Take the higher road and choose the light. Remove yourself from low energy experiences. No matter what is happening to you or around you, you have a choice. Choose not to be pulled into dramas, bickering, or the energies that are just going to limit your joy. If you are surrounded by people who are hostile towards you or someone else, or you are in a negative situation, perhaps in your workplace, you are being invited to be the light. You are an incredible person who can really bring light. So how can you change the energy? How can you redirect the conversation to love? How can you protect yourself? How can you help the person that is being picked on? Or are you the one who is guilty of causing the drama? You will know the answers. Know also that you are being encouraged to shine the light you were born to share. Be the light, okay? Be the light. And Stargazer, set your sights higher. I love that. Go beyond your limitations and believe that the impossible is possible. You are on the verge of a miracle. You and your dreams and aspirations are within your grasp. All of your dreams and aspirations are within your grasp, and you are being guided to focus on your vision. The angels who are with you are encouraging you. There is nothing that you cannot have or achieve. There's an opportunity at this time to heal an old wound or pattern of lack and not feeling good enough. In the past, you've often found it impossible to recognize your worth and to believe that you are deserving of blessings. Angels and ancestors' wisdom is reminding you that you are incredible and an infinite spark of the universe. And the universe is not only within you, it absolutely adores you. You are talented, filled with strength, and have the abilities you need to turn your wildest dreams into reality. Oh, wow. That's our throat chakra. This is what we must communicate to ourselves, okay? You are so loved, and you are the light, and set those sights higher. All right, moving on. Sixth chakra, our third eye, and our third eye is like right in between our eyes on our forehead here. And it is talking about our intuition. It is talking about our guidance, our spiritual guidance, that connection really to our instincts and our gut instincts, and following through with them. Like, it is really just about following your intuition and the clarity of that, the clarity of of your intuition and your mind here. And the shadow energy that came out for that was happy family. You know? Happy family. It's a shadow energy here. And I almost feel it's like, oh, happy family. It's the shadow here. Happy family. I feel like it could almost be that the illusion, like I kind of feel like that shadow energy of the happy family almost is the illusion of what this looks like, you know? The inability maybe to clearly see it. The Page of Wands and the Five of Pentacles are what came out here. And the World. And the Page of Wands is talking about a spiritual new beginning, okay? This is like when we're talking about, you know, finding your authentic self. This is the beginning girl for that, okay? She is the beginning of the court cards for our wands, and that's talking about our spirituality, okay? She is here starting a brand new cycle. She's moving out of the Five of Pentacles, away from the despair, away from the hard times, away from feeling, you know, left out in the darks on, you know, the loneliness here. That's what the Five of Pentacles is. That is talking about heartache and despair. And then the World. Okay, the completion of the whole understanding of it all. You know, because I feel like this Page of Wands is really acknowledging all of the hard parts. You know, she's overcoming this kind of heartbreaking, despairing feeling, and she's moving in and embracing this wholeness of the world. You know, understanding that it all played a part and that it was all very important to her, but that cycle's completed, and now she's moving forward. Clarifier for the Page of Pentacles here. The Page of Wands was clarified by the Four of Cups. It's almost as though it's this embracing, you know, this it's almost though I kind of feel like the Four of Cups is talking about cups that have been spilt, you know, and that yes, okay, some cups have been spilt, but Spirit is still offering you a cup here. You know, this is why Spirit is still offering you a way forward. Spirit is still offering, oh shoot. Sorry, guys. I pulled my headphones there. Okay, Spirit is still offering you this, you know, yes, okay, there has been opportunities and situations in your life where cups have been spilt. And it could be in regards to the family, okay? It could be in regards to the happy family. You know, maybe that happy family as a childhood thing wasn't really, you know, what you wanted. Or maybe, you know, you've been through a divorce, you've had a hard time here, but there's this need here, even whatever that is, okay? Please don't, you know, fit it where it fits. But this Page of Wands is this embracing of the cup that is for you. You know, it's the acknowledgement that, okay, whatever the cups that had been spilled, they were spilled for another reason. But this cup that's being offered to you is a cup that is bringing you authenticity. It's bringing you your own purpose here. You know, it's allowing you to embrace your purpose, yourself, you know, your authenticity. Okay, we're taking one card to clarify, not half a deck here. One card to clarify the Five of Pentacles. The Eight of Pentacles. You know, and the Five of Pentacles clarified by the Eight of Pentacles, because the Eight of Pentacles is like, you've put a lot of hard work into healing this kind of despairing kind of feeling, okay? The Eight of Pentacles is talking about the hard work that you've put in. Look at this spider web, right? This little spider has spun this web. She has built this masterpiece. She worked so hard at this masterpiece. But just because she spun one web doesn't mean that that's where she quits. No. Now she continues. She builds another web, you know? And to me, this is very much saying, yes, you have overcome a lot of hard obstacles, in your life. There has been a lot of things that have challenged you, especially in regards to this family, this happy family situation. And, when we're talking shadow and root energies, family is often one that has the ability to hurt us the most, has the ability to really throw us off of our intuition, because family are, and I'm not blaming other family members, but family is just, those are people that we are more vulnerable to, right? So if they are, if we are constantly looking or maybe following the guidance of other family members and not following our own intuition, that really jumbles our direction, right? Because nobody else can hear your intuition but you. This is why you can't ask somebody, well, what does my intuition tell me? No, that's why they ask you that question, because they can't hear that, right? Nobody can hear that. You're the only one who can hear your intuition. And if somewhere along the lines, family has caused you to doubt that intuition and to doubt your authenticity, to maybe hold down your shine a little bit or change certain aspects of you here, okay? That can leave us feeling very wounded and jagged and despaired, okay? But I feel that greatly within this healing of this third eye chakra, there is the acknowledgement that yes, there has been a lot of pains. There's been a lot of, despairing kind of situations, loneliness, feeling on the outs, right? But that is something that as a collective, we are working through. We are working on. We continue to work on. We continue to show up and put in the work and work through those kind of, jarring, despairing kind of issues. Oh my. Oh wow. The world was clarified by the Nine of Cups, the Death, and the Queen of Swords. And the world is talking about, that completion to the whole cycle here. The ability to look at it for all that it is, good and bad, The Nine of Cups is talking about the self-emotional fulfillment here, okay? The deep fulfillment of your soul. The death and rebirth after that, it has taken this cycle of death and rebirth. It has taken the death of the old and the birth of the new to go forward, to change your perspective within this. It's taken the Queen of Swords, the clarity, okay? It's taken your intuition. This is a very intuitive feminine, okay? It has taken this intellectual clarity. Somebody who is solid in her way of thinking. Somebody who knows that if shit just doesn't line up, she's going to cut that shit away because there's no time. There's no room for that. She is clear. She is focused. And she is really freaking intuitive. This acknowledgement that it all played a part here opens you up to be able to, receive the emotional fulfillment from that kind of transformation, from the death and the rebirth, okay? It gives you the clarity. What you are unable to change, what we must acknowledge that we are unable to change here is the rabbit spirit. And that now is a lucky time. You see, because as you come into this awakening, you are coming from the burrow of the darkness. And you are, one way, as you open yourself up to new knowledge, you are embracing the light. You are coming from the darkness. The more knowledge that you seek and the more knowledge that you open your mind up to, you open your heart up to, you change your way forward. You cannot go back now because now you know something new. Now you go forward with this acknowledgement. Now is a lucky time for you to go into the meadows, to fulfill and co-create and, be fertile and grow what it is you want in your life. Now is the time to do this. Okay? You are unable to change that. As 2020 has really unraveled and really pushed us all into our own individual awakenings. It has literally pushed us out of our little rabbit holes and into the beautiful meadow. We're here now, and now it is a lucky time. So open yourself up. How do you take back your power here? Was the full moon in Capricorn, and that is the end of a tough cycle approaches. Okay? It is coming, and maybe I'll read that one too. Full moon Capricorn. The end of a tough cycle. That's the new moon, okay? Maybe I won't read it. Ay, ay, ay. Okay, so this card is really, it's telling you, this card is reminding you that effort is required. Work issues may be about to come to a head when this card comes up. If you are wondering if you should stay in your job or leave, this card can be a strong sign to make an exit. The end of the rough time is forecast. This card can also asks you to consider how ambitious you are and whether you're prepared to pull out all the stops to make your professional dreams come true without being ruthless. With a love question, this card can be a call to face reality. Whatever situation you're asking about, make a plan. It will help. If your professional life is troubled, prioritize it. I really feel that this is really just like, you know, as this is asking, how can you take back your power? You know, it's saying if you are ready to put the work in here, you know, to finish out and heal and complete this cycle, then that healing is yours. You know, then you are putting the end to that. The end of this tough cycle approaches if you are willing to put the work in here. And how can you use this challenge to your advantage? And it was the Hermit. Retreat and recharge. And the Hermit that's the first time the Hermit has ever come out in any reading. So I was really excited to see him, especially because I've become a big fan of the Hermit. I used to struggle really hard with the Hermit, but him and I are buddies now. The Hermit. Take time to rest and recuperate in order to continue your growth. Benefit from the information that will come directly from your heart space. Benefit from the information that will come directly from your heart space. You have been working hard and giving your all to your current situation. And it may become draining and detrimental to your development unless you retreat and recharge your energies. So you are being guided to step back at this time. If you are working on bringing something together, your over-involvement could impede the process. So retreat and breathe. If you have something to say or do that could have a larger impact on your life, spend some time in deep thought and even contemplation before moving forward. Often we rush in. We don't see how destructive our actions can be. So meditate and listen to your soul's wisdom before proceeding further. Well, that was a pretty good little piece of guidance there for our intuition. In order to move forward with our intuition, we must be able to sit back and take our ego out of it, right? We must be soul-led, not ego-led. And sometimes that's a hard thing to do in the moment, okay? All right, let's move on to our Crown Chakra. So the energies for the Crown Chakra, the shadow energies of the Crown Chakra here was the contract and the storm warning. And I found it really crazy because the contract was, it came out in the first reading in part 1. And I feel like this is our soul's contracts. That is what this contract here is talking about, you know, and the contracts that our souls have come down to really like learn and connect ourselves to the divine. Okay. It's this need for this crumbling. It was this need for this breakdown, you know, within the world that we knew, within the world, you know, within our own personal worlds here. You know, if you are going through an awakening, chances are something has really called you to this awakening. You know, something has really sparked, something has been destructive, some sort of contract for your soul, whether it was repeating cycles or something of that nature, a lesson of your soul of that nature, something that has been hard to bear. That is the shadow energy here of this Crown Chakra. Because without the connection to the divine, which is our Crown Chakra, that's what the Crown Chakra is talking about, that connection to the divine, without that connection to the divine, it's very hard for us to understand and be able to be open and receiving to the lessons that our soul contracts are, right? Like it's hard for us to embrace that. The Two of Wands, the Empress, and then the King of Wands. Yep. There was this change of direction here, the change of direction to be able to actually look at things and give birth to a new life here. To acknowledge the patterns and the lessons and the contracts that our souls had, the cycles that we had. To acknowledge them and say, this is the direction that I want to go forward with from here. This is my change. This is my movement forward, you know? And then to open yourself up and to really become this King of Wands. Isn't that beautiful? Right? It was this change of direction here, you know, from a way that are, you know, the patterns of our contracts, right? And the patterns that we just needed to acknowledge, okay? These cycles that we needed to acknowledge, these lessons that we needed to acknowledge so that we could tear down our limitations here and we could build something and go forward. And that is very much what this is. This is the change in direction. This can actually be talking, you know, about a move or a job change, you know, but something that you are starting, something you are giving life to, that is you, okay? That is, you are literally giving birth to it from your being, okay? There is the opportunity here to embrace anew, to co-create with Spirit, to go forward in your authentic being here, serving yourself, you know, serving your authenticity, your soul purpose, embracing who you are, being steady with the King of Fire that you are, steady in the solid being that you are. You know, our souls all, that is what we are truly here to learn, is to learn our, you know, aside from the other lessons, yes, a huge lesson for us is to embrace our spirituality, to embrace our authenticity. We were all uniquely and divinely made, so how else can, you know, what other purpose are we here, you know, really to experience other than that of our authenticity? Because when we all show up to embrace our own authenticity, each of us have different authenticities. Each of us have different journeys for us. So if we were each to show up to our own, you know, to our own gifts and to our own journeys and to our own, this is where I'm going in my life, you know, if we made that a priority, you know, we would have people moving in directions of doing things that they love to actually do, you know, jobs that they love to be a part of, things that they are passionate for, things that, you know, they are truly destined, you know, made for. You know, have that purpose on earth to show up, and their souls have that purpose within them, right? I loved this one. What we must acknowledge that we are unable to change was the flamingo spirit, and that was embracing the in-between. Because what we must acknowledge in this stage here is that we are neither, you know, here nor there, right? You're somewhere in the middle. You're not from the past, and you're not yet to the future. There's this in-between stage and this need to be flexible and solid and appreciate the in-between stage. Like the flamingo who just stands confident, you know, right in between, you know, they're solid, right in between, you know. We must acknowledge that we are unable to change the past that we have come from. And we are unable to truly, you know, have control over the future that is coming. But if we can embrace ourselves at the in-between stage and allow ourselves to actually open up and experience the in-between stage and the knowledge and the moments that that in-between stage actually holds for us, okay? Well, that's a huge part of it. How can you take back your power? Your commitment is being tested here. And it's funny because your commitment is being tested, and not so much as though Spirit is setting you up to fail, But your commitment is being tested because in order for the things that you want to actually unravel and come to be in life, you must call them into being. You must act as if they are already here. You must act as if you are already experiencing the changes that this has brought into your world. You must actually talk to the universe and say, these are the things that I am committed to. This is the growth that I am committed to. This is the spiritual being that I am committed to. You have to show up to do that in order for the universe and for spirit to actually hear that come from your being. You have to acknowledge that and you have to be committed to that. You know, and there are so many trials and tribulations within our everyday lives that try to throw us off. You know, and sometimes that's going to happen. Sometimes we're going to have shitty days and we are going to be thrown off. But acknowledge that, okay, that was just a shitty moment. I had a shitty day. It doesn't mean that I failed. It doesn't mean that I am not still moving forward in this journey. It just means that I need to try a little bit harder tomorrow. Okay? I need to try a little bit harder the next time this trigger comes into my life. Because I acknowledge that this is it. This is the trigger or whatever the situation is, right? I acknowledge that this is a situation into which my commitment is being tested. How can you use these challenges to your advantage? Take note of intuitive messages, the moon. And the moon is all about surrendering. The moon is all about opening yourself up to the intuitive messages and allowing the guidance. Use your intuition. Practice discernment, see through illusions and blockages. Lunar energies are surrounding your life, allowing you to understand what is standing in your way. Not everything is as it seems, and you are being guided to use your discernment. When the moon appears, intuitive and psychic urges are increased, so take note of any feelings arising at this time. They are messages from your souls and angels. The moon shines her light on all that has been kept in the dark. So ask yourself if you are avoiding anything or refusing to deal with something of importance. If so, it can be holding you in the shadows when your destiny is to be in the light. If this card appears when you feel someone isn't being completely real with you, know that their intentions will be revealed to you. The moon has no secrets. She reveals all. Wow. So if so, it could be holding you in the shadows when your destiny is to be in the light. Well, guys, that was a pretty in-depth, beautiful read here. And I just want to actually take a second and point out some of the bottom cards here that were laying. On the bottom of the Energy Oracle deck here was the action and the first chakra. And this is really the base to this here. And I love it because it's the action in our security. The action in who we are. The action in our self-worth. In what is actually rooted to us. The action in our security within ourselves. The animal spirit was the crow spirit. And that is co-create with spirit. And the panther right underneath that. No shit. Reclaim your power. Isn't that cool? On the bottom of the moon deck, right? The full moon. Surrender to the divine. And behind that was balanced spirituality and practicality, full moon in Pisces. And look at the bigger picture. Oh my gosh. And on the bottom here was the star ancestor. Follow the voice of your soul. Wow. All right, we're going to pull just the last few cards here as an overall go forward. Okay, move forward kind of message here. Just the last few tarot here from the Good Tarot. And how to go forward with this awakening. The Nine of Air, look at that, Nine of Swords. It's time to cut the tension. It's time to take over the anxieties and just cut that, whatever has been keeping you in that state of anxiety, whatever has been keeping you in that state of depression and feeling unable to free yourself. You know, maybe it's that staying up late at night and, you know, and not being able to sleep because all of these pressures of the world are just surrounding you. And the Nine of Swords is saying it's time to cut that. It's time to release that. Okay? Release yourself from those swords. Release yourself from that tension. Release yourself from that trapped feeling. It's time to free yourself. It's time to make the choice to free yourself. The clarity, look at that, the Queen of Swords again. The clarity here. It's time to follow your intuition and allow yourself to embrace who you are and why you are so wonderful. It's time. This is what the embracing is. This is what the awakening is, right? It's following your intuition. It's becoming clear on that intuition. Four of Swords, time for rest and rejuvenation. It's time to take the time out, maybe have a nap, and allow your soul just that time to have its space so that it can really restore itself, rejuvenate itself, so it can go forward healed. The Seven of Cups, there's a lot of options here before you. There are a lot of cups before us, and it's important that we choose the cups that are authentic to our souls and the journeys that we truly want to move ourselves down. And the Messenger of Earth. It's not a fast race, okay? This growing and this healing and this embracing of the awakening is not a fast movement here. This is a process, and it's going to take some time. It's going to take some moving forward. It's going to take some commitment to planting the seeds of our lives, okay? To sowing the pentacles within our lives so that they have the opportunity to bloom, okay? But you just don't plant seeds and they don't just magically grow, right? It takes time to plant the seeds. It takes time and commitment to harvesting the crops. That's the Messenger of Earth here. Somebody who acknowledges that it is going to take time, but they show up to put in the work, step by step, one day at a time, one foot in front of the other. The healing is here for you if you choose to take that road, if you choose to open your heart up and move forward to healing, okay? If you move forward through the growth. It takes time. Sure it does. All right. Well, that concludes our 3-part series here of embracing your awakening. I just wanted to take a moment here too, for those of you who have watched through this series, I will be offering a one-time special of a personal free chakra read. So it would be something fairly similar to this, in which we could do in person, or it could be a video like this in which I just send it to you. But it will be a free read. So there will be links on my Instagram, which will be also in the description box here. So head over to my Instagram so that you can get all of the details for that contest. And for the rest of you, if you are wanting to reach out, I do offer distance energy healing as well as personal energy Reiki sessions. So if that is something that you are interested in, please reach out. This is a beautiful way for us to really incorporate our overall energy while balancing, okay? I love the way that cards and Reiki play so lovely in together, and I really enjoy this spread as far as, people embracing their own awakening. So I think that is all. I have really enjoyed doing this 3-part series. If you have enjoyed this reading or the series, please be sure to hit the subscription box if you haven't already done that, and a comment or two, even, how you are embracing your own awakening. I would love to hear from you. I would love to, hear from this soul tribe that is growing here. So that is it, my friends. Take great care of yourselves. Keep moving forward. Keep growing. You're doing such a wonderful job. All right. Until next time, take care. Bye now.